Welcome back to our channel where we peel back the layers of the most intriguing films out there. Today, we're diving into a world where folklore meets fear, and every creak in the dark holds a story. Huesera, the Bone Woman. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and join us on this cinematic exploration. And for our returning film aficionados, welcome back. Let's unravel the mysteries of Huesera, the Bone Woman. So, grab your popcorn, turn down the lights, and let's get into it. So the beginning of the film begins by showing a family who go up the hill on the stairs, walk on their knees, and come in front of Mary's idol, and start praying. An old woman on the hill touches a girl's stomach. The girl's name is Valeria, and she is the main character of the story. The old woman starts reading something while touching her stomach. After seeing this, we understood that these people actually want a child. And here they had come so high to ask for a child's prayer because it had been many years. And Valeria was not having a child. But after this, Valeria came home. Here we see her husband, who loves her a lot. He is very concerned about Valeria, and he is also very fond of children for her own happiness. Valeria also wants a child. She was a very good carpenter. She was very fond of making furniture and home things now. After 3 weeks, Valeria's pregnancy report had come. After coming home, she gives her husband this surprise. The report is positive. Yes, I am going to be a mother. She was very emotional while saying this, and there was no place for her husband's happiness. After a few days, these two reached Valeria's house, and when they learned that Valeria was going to be a mother, they celebrated this happiness. There was a sister of hers who did not like Valeria very much. She was jealous of her. She was not seeing much because of her mother. That's why when everyone was eating, she started telling everyone about Valeria's old story. To embarrass Valeria, she says that once the neighbors told Valeria to take care of her child, but because she does not have her own children, it is not good for her to take care of these children. She dropped off the child of those neighbors. She felt very bad to hear such things from her sister, but she does not say anything, but she gets very angry in her heart. Valeria and her husband were going home when on the way, Valeria's eyes were on a woman who was standing on the roof of a house. She was constantly staring at her, but her face was not visible properly. That's why Valeria looks at her with quite surprised eyes. Then suddenly a girl came to her car. Valeria recognizes her because they used to be very good friends before and after. So much time they are very happy to see each other after. Which Valeria and her husband came home, such a time was passing. We can clearly see that Valeria was feeling strange. She had a strange fear, especially about this child, in so much tension that she was not able to sleep. Then she gets tired, gets up from the bed and stands near the window. She sees that a woman is standing on the building in front of her, who is constantly looking at Valeria, looking at her. Valeria shakes her hand. Maybe she is also feeling sleepy, but that woman, instead of shaking her hand, looks very strange in her whole body. The thing that looks very strange to her surprises her. But the next moment, that woman suddenly moved from the roof. She was not dead. Only her bones were damaged. She fell and started crawling towards her building, looking at her. Valeria was very scared. She could not believe her eyes. What did I see? She starts screaming loudly, but that woman was constantly moving towards her building. Because of this, she screamed loudly while being scared. Her husband woke up to her screams. Then she quickly went to her husband. She was shivering badly. She picks him up and brings him out. She explains everything and points to the woman below, but there is no one there. Then her husband says that when a woman becomes a mother, this happens to her. She has a strange thought, then this must be happening because of your pregnancy. By saying this, he ignores the matter. Then Valeria also feels the same. Valeria thinks that if I stay free, then I will get tensed. So why not keep myself busy? Then with this thought, she prepares her daughter's room, for example. She cleans the room very well, paints on the walls, decorates the swing, etc. Then at night, she tells her husband that she does not feel like sleeping. So today you also did not sleep. Let's talk then. Her husband says, no, Valeria, not at all. You should sleep. You should get a good night's sleep because such a child can have a bad effect after saying this. He went to bed with this. Valeria's heart broke. She was upset with her husbands and others. behavior, she starts thinking that no one cares about me. Everyone is worried about this child. Now I feel that giving birth to such a child was the purpose of my life, thinking this way. She does not sleep even today. She used to live in a flat. When she lay down, her eyes opened due to a sound. So she came down, but when she did not get anything, she came out of the house and started checking. She was on the lower floor of her building. We see that the woman who had suddenly moved from the roof, whose bones had broken quickly, crawled into her house, after which the door closed heavily, hearing the sound of the door. Valeria got very scared. She quickly came out of her house and started knocking on the door. Her husband's eyes opened due to the sound. When she opened the door, Valeria quickly came in and started checking. Seeing her nervous, her husband asks, "What happened? Where did you go and why are you so nervous?" Then she says that when I was outside, I heard the sound of a loud door. I think someone has entered the house. Then her husband starts explaining that nothing like that would have happened. The door must have closed due to the strong wind. Due to all these circumstances, Valeria was very worried. She thinks that maybe I have some bad shadows on me. So she went to a woman with her mother, who was very good at doing rituals, magic, and such things. She also does rituals on Valeria and checks to see what the problem is. She says that your child will be absolutely normal, everything will be fine. But at the same time, I can see some bad effects, some problems, chatter, etc. But don't worry, I will try to fix everything. The day went by like this. But that bad thought was still bothering Valeria. One day, when she tries to sleep, she feels like that woman in the ring has come to my room, and she grabbed my leg and turned it, which hurt me so much that I woke up screaming immediately. At this time, her husband was at home. Hearing her scream, he immediately came there, but this time too, it seems like a bad dream. Then, from here, we were taken to Valeria's past. At that time, she was young, but her age was less at that time. Valeria and her friend, who she met on the road, used to be very good friends. In fact, they both loved each other, always supported each other, whatever had to be done. They did it together. Now in the present time, Valeria considered herself weak. That's why she goes to her same friend, because Valeria was missing her a lot. Both of them were together at night as well. But Valeria was doing all this secretly away from her husband. The next day, Valeria's mom and dad call her home because her mom, dad, and sister were going somewhere. And because the children will be alone at home, they leave Valeria here so that she can take care of the children. Now there were 2 children in the house, and only Valeria, although Valeria was their aunt. But still, she talks to her very rudely. She makes fun of her and behaves very badly. Hearing this, Valeria was very angry, but she couldn't even say anything to them. That's why she goes to the kitchen and starts crying. When she was crying, the same woman saw her again, who was moving again, in a strange way, because of which she was so scared. Didaly starts running towards the children. She quickly took the children and came to the room above. She takes them to the bed and sits. She was very scared because she started hearing a loud voice. Seeing her scared, the children also get very scared now. Here we found out that before going, Valeria's dad had given her a button saying that whenever there is a problem, press this button, then the neighbors will come to help you. And now, what could be a bigger problem than this? That's why Valeria presses that button, after which the neighbors came there. She checked the whole house, but nothing is found there, but their dog was killed. Everyone thinks that she is going crazy. Her mental balance is bad. That's why she's talking like this. Her sister starts telling her a lot of things because when Valeria was taking her children to the room, the children were injured. So her sister thinks that she deliberately hurt the children, and to scare them, she killed the dog. Being sad, she came to the child's room, and there, she starts smoking to lighten her sorrow. As soon as she looked at the child's swing, she saw someone's hand there, as if someone is trying to come out of there. And then he breaks a stick from the child's swing, because of which she was so scared that she came out screaming. Hearing the voice, her husband came there. But then the smell of burning began to come, and when they went inside and saw it, there was a fire in the child's swing. He was completely burned. Seeing this, Her husband started doubting Valeria. He says that till now I have been treating you with love, but now I am sure that you do not want this child. Whenever you are doing such strange things, he was fed up with this situation. That's why he calls his mom, where they decide that we will admit Valeria to a mental hospital for the sake of the child, just for a few days so that he does not harm the child. Now in the evening, Valeria was very sad. That's why she came to the club where everyone was dancing like crazy. Now she started getting strange thoughts from the crowd, like everyone's drawn faces. And then suddenly she started getting sick, because it was time for her child to be born. The next moment, we see her in the hospital where she gives birth to a child. He was born absolutely safe. Her husband was told about this, so he came there immediately, and he was very happy to have a child. After a few days, it was shown that she had come to her house, but the thing to notice here was that her husband was taking care of the child, more than Valeria. She did not even look at the face of the child because it was true that she did not want the child. One night when she was at home and her husband was at work, then the child started crying a lot, but she did not even pick up the child. On the contrary, she was troubling Valeria by crying. She was angry. She started breathing hard in anger to save herself from hearing the voice. She puts clothes on her face and ears. She did not think that the child would be crying out of hunger and feed or something. This is a far-fetched thing. She does not even pick her up. The child was driving her crazy. She had pain in her ears. Then this pain spread her whole body, spread the bone in her waist was moving in its place, and it started coming out in a strange way. Now things were getting out of control. That's why she puts her child in the fridge. Then she comes back to her place and goes to sleep. After a while, she came to her senses. Then the thought of the child comes quickly. She gets up from the bed and started looking for the child everywhere because she did not remember. That's where I put her. The window was also open. She thought that maybe I dropped the child. Now, when she opened the fridge, then the child was found, who was alive and fortunately absolutely fine. She takes him in her arms and starts crying. She realized that I am not in my control and things are getting worse day by day. She tells this to her friend and she takes these two children and goes to the same woman who was a magician to whom Valeria had come before when she reached there. Now 4 women are together, start doing rituals with her. She ties up the child and puts Valeria's mouth in the water, where Valeria reached a different world that is in the jungle as she moves forward. In the jungle, she sees very strange women there who had a poor appearance, and she was bending her body strangely and was turning. She slowly started moving towards Valeria and holds her badly. Then as soon as she left, Valeria reached a dark room where she saw someone standing, and it was no one else but the same shadow. The same woman who always showed her bad thoughts, whose name was Bone Woman. She turns her head, then Valeria sees that this is some other form of mine who had wrapped herself in a cloth. Then suddenly there was a fire in which her other form was completely wrapped in fire, and it burns and ends there. With this, Valeria opened her eyes where she knew all the truth, and now she loves her child with all her heart. But here is what we found out. Valeria never wanted such a life. She did not want to get married. She did not want to have a child. In fact, she wanted to spend her precious life with her friend. That's why today she says goodbye and goes away, because she knew I will not be able to fulfill this responsibility. Valeria was fed up with this life because she did not want marriage and children. She had to follow that. This is the reason that she was seeing a lot of devils everywhere. That, too, in her own form. It felt as if the devils had trapped her. That's why she came to her senses. She knew everything because of her depression. Tension had come out. She understood that's what I should do, and the reason for seeing her form again and again was the same. He was trying to make Valeria understand that you should leave this life and go back to your real life, to your friend, because you will not live like this. The story of this film ends here, and that's the final creak and whisper from the unsettling tale of Huesera, the Bone Woman. I hope this walkthrough has given you a newfound appreciation, or perhaps a clearer understanding of the haunting story that's been chilling spines and rattling bones at film festivals worldwide. Check out the videos appearing on screen now for more bone-chilling content. Thank you for spending your time with us. Until next time, keep the lights on and your curiosity alive.